Hello everyone, Cal Sahota here, VP of Possibilities with the HeroX team. Looking forward to answering a couple of questions for you. What is this crowdsourcing thing and why should it matter to you? So let's dive right in. We're going to keep it super simple. We're going to start off with just a simple understanding of what crowdsourcing is, talk a little bit about some of the examples, why HeroX, and then is crowdsourcing really the future? And then lastly, we'll talk a little bit about getting started. So how crowdsourcing works. So firstly, let's start off with a really simple walkthrough. You likely have heard the term crowd. So crowd, as we reference it, is defined as the 3 billion people connected to the World Wide Web, simply those who have connectivity. It starts off with an organization identifying a business issue, a problem, or potentially even an opportunity. It doesn't have to be a problem. They then take the problem or opportunity and they turn it into a global competition. They broadcast that as an open call to the crowd and invite them to submit their ideas. It's done in a very brand-friendly, very risk-friendly way, oftentimes referred to as hosting a challenge. The crowd then submits their solutions, the organization vets the solutions, and then the organization quite simply selects and awards the solution or solutions which best meet their needs. Pretty simple. It works literally like running a contest. The best solution wins. And the other thing is you don't have to be an organization. It works the exact same way if you're an entrepreneur or if you're an individual. It's the same simple process. So crowdsourcing is really just a simple business tool. So when you solve business issues with crowdsourcing versus traditional business, here are 4 key points that have really stood out for us. So firstly, you get exactly what you're looking for. How that works is this. When you create and launch your challenge, you very clearly articulate exactly what you're looking for. So when the crowd comes to compete, they're clear on what they're solving for. You won't get a variation or a version of what you want. You will get exactly what you want. No delays. How often do you run projects and deadlines get pushed out for various reasons? Either someone wasn't feeling well, or maybe you're in manufacturing and maybe you're waiting on a part. With crowdsourcing, every challenge has a very clear timeline. If you run your challenge for 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, whatever the case may be, the crowd knows that they have to submit their ideas by the deadline or they simply can't compete. Therefore, you will get your solution exactly at the time that you've requested. Budget's going over. Very common issue in business. With this approach, you don't go over budget. You decide what the value of your solution is up front. That's the prize purse. That's decided and confirmed at the time you launch your challenge. The second part is the operational cost of running the challenge, which is also clear to you up front. So there's no surprises, no overages. You will stay within your budget. Lastly, you only pay for success. That certainly is not common in traditional business. We have a close to 90% success rate. That said, if by chance the crowd doesn't present you with your winning solution, you simply don't award the prize money. It's just that simple. So when you take a step back and you look at these 4 key points, doesn't crowdsourcing just make really, really good business sense? It's the same money that you're spending, same money that you have earmarked for all these various tactical and strategic issues that you have. You're just simply using a different way to actually get those solutions. So how does HeroX fit into crowdsourcing? So firstly, HeroX is simply a platform which enables you to run your crowdsourcing projects. It's a turnkey platform giving you absolutely everything you need to launch your challenge, run it, all the tools you need for judging, all the way through to announcing winners. It's incredibly robust and very powerful, but in my mind, what makes it super interesting and really easy to use is that it's really intuitive and simple. So examples of how it works. So brands have been actively crowdsourcing for a number of years, and typically brands tend to use it in a couple of different ways. So one way is through consumer engagement, where they connect through their brand enthusiasts to get really great marketing ideas or potentially marketing content. The second is innovation. If you're looking for a new product solution, maybe you're looking for a new app, new AI. I mean, so many different applications out there. It really just depends on your business. But the best way to oftentimes explain it is just to walk you through just a specific example. So Coca-Cola is one of our clients, and here's an example of one of the challenges that they're working on with us. So they were looking for a new sweetener. They actually took a couple of different approaches. They ran 2 different challenges with us. I'm going to walk you through this particular one called the Sweet Story Challenge. Now, the challenge was to present a short video, sharing how your family sweetened food safely using a natural method. So hence the name Sweet Story Challenge. So if you just go through this slide here, you see that the prize value is actually $100,000. And the interesting thing is that's what they had earmarked and that's what they were going to give. But once they got all the solutions that had been brought in, they had a really difficult time narrowing the solutions. They couldn't decide. So the initial plan was to award $20,000 per winner to 5 winners. But because they couldn't select it and agree on the top 5, they actually opted to award the top 6. So they, by their own choice, increased the prize value to $120,000. You can see here for community, people that actually followed or competed in the challenge, 1,300. Out of the 1,300, just over 1,000 competitors, representing 74 countries. Talk about tapping into the creativity of the world, right? And as I mentioned, 6 winners were actually awarded, and you can see them here. From Mexico to Bolivia, you can see all the countries all the way through to Indonesia. They were actually so pleased with the results, they actually released a YouTube video. It's maybe a 3-minute watch. Talks about the actual executives of Coca-Cola talk about how they're using crowdsourcing to really, create innovation and, get different ideas. It's just a really, really great watch. But, I sometimes it's just best to show you exactly what it looks like on our site. So here's the actual challenge as you see it on our site, and this is how it's represented. So this section here, you can get really creative. You can put a video in if you like. With them, they opted for a really neat graphic that we created for them. Here's the prize amount, which would have initially been shown as $100,000. The other really great thing is you get to categorize your challenge. So when innovators come to compete, they can sort. So if they're individuals that have talent in art and design or healthcare, then this would actually sort through to their results. And I talked a little bit about getting exactly what you're looking for. So the overview section provides literally that. It's an overview of what it is that they're solving for, what the issue is, the challenge and breakthrough that they're looking for. The guidelines, so this is exactly what they're looking for. So they tell you exactly what the judging criteria was, so you're super clear on what it is that you're solving for. There's a timeline here where it tells you exactly where you're at. So if you go backwards, you can see when it was actually announced, all the press releases, and when the winners were announced, submission deadline, everything is there. So when innovators come, they're clear on exactly where you're at. And then if you want to update your community, as your challenge is live, we really encourage you guys, much like a blog post, to keep this up to date. So anything you want to share with your community, you drop it in here. And the forum is where you actually communicate with your community. So there's no emails going back and forth. All the communication, everything is handled directly off of the platform here. So innovators can message in off the forum. They can message in privately. You would answer all their questions here. And this is their complete community. So this is where you see, all of the 1,300 plus people that are actually following or competed in the challenge, all housed here. So that's a little bit about how the challenge appears on the site. So in addition to that, I'll add that on other platforms, you pay to access their software and their community. When your challenge is complete, you lose access to the platform's crowd. At HeroX, we believe that you should have your own crowd of innovators and problem solvers who believe in your brand and what you're up to, and they want to contribute to your solutions, challenge after challenge. So when your challenge is complete on HeroX, your crowd remains with you as your crowd on your very own custom branded page. So that's where you can engage your crowd again and again for various challenges. And this is what it looks like. So just looking at this particular example, if we click on Coca-Cola's crowdsourcing page, this is how they have represented their crowdsourcing page. So these are the challenges they have with us. You can see the community with this particular challenge is over 6,000. Here was close to 1,300. Their complete community is here. So once these challenges close off, the community remains live. And as is the case with any social network, the more you utilize it, the larger your community is going to get. And there's absolutely no cost to having your own branded crowdsourcing page. no different than LinkedIn and no different than Facebook. So just jumping back into our presentation. So why HeroX? So as I mentioned, there are absolutely other platforms out there, but what makes us unique is a couple of things. So firstly, we have a pay for success model. What that means for you is this. HeroX allows you to get started and iterate on your challenge without any cost. We then guarantee your results. So if you receive submissions but do not award a winner, we will refund you 50% of your platform fee. If you don't even receive submissions or award a winner, we will refund you 100% of your platform fee. Second distinction, which I just shared with you, is we're positioned as a social network for crowdsourcing. So another couple of quick facts that I wanted to share with you. I'm certainly not going to go through all of them. You know, as we talk about our current community, we have over 100,000 registered users at this time. And you can see some of our social media followings are actually more than double than a lot of our competitors. And you can also see here, you know, just for the sake of, you know, stepping back and looking to see, you know, should you really be engaging and getting into crowdsourcing? And you can see here that all, you know, a lot of the brands that currently work with us. So Coca-Cola from NBC, Rockefeller Foundation, Boeing is sponsoring a challenge. You know, a great way of thinking about it is this, you know, remember how social media was considered, you know, by many a fad, myself included. So it wasn't taken very seriously, at least not at the very beginning. Then all of a sudden you have digital marketing, which took the world by storm. And from what I know today, I would say that digital marketing isn't the new way to market. It is the way to market. So following shifts in business is super critical to protecting your business and your brand. So here's a really great snapshot of all the innovators that we have globally. When you think of the power of the crowd and you give some thought to, you know, tapping into the world, you can absolutely see that we're global. You can see, you know, many platforms and companies out there claim that they're global, but we absolutely are. Each pin represents a location, not just an innovator. So behind each pin, there could be potentially hundreds of innovators. We have over 185 countries represented on the platform. So, how do you get started? So the first thing we say to you is just take a look at your business, right? Look at what you're up to today. It's literally anything that's in front of you that you might be stuck on or a solution that you're looking for. You can see some of the examples listed there. Maybe you're looking for a new technology. Maybe you would design new packaging for a new product that you have coming out. Maybe you want to redesign your website. It literally could be for absolutely anything. The possibilities of challenge concepts are as endless as the issues themselves. Where you see a problem, the invitation would be to then take a step back and look at the opportunity for a crowdsourced solution. So the use of the HeroX platform, two simple options. So either you do it yourself or we support you. Option one, pretty straightforward. The HeroX platform is so easy. You go directly to the site, you click on create a challenge, and away you go. The platform guides you, asking you all the right questions. You also get access to a full knowledge base, which includes screencasts and templates, absolutely everything you need designed by our platform experts to really get you started and set up for success. That's why many of our clients actually take the DIY approach. That said, if you don't have the bandwidth, or perhaps your challenge concept might be a little bit complicated, or maybe you're crowdsourcing for the first time and you'd like a little bit of support, you can absolutely do that as well. So that's the second option. You can augment your experience on the platform with some of our optional consulting services. So we can support you in 3 key areas. So designing your challenge, a handful of marketing services, as well as judging support. Now, I'm certainly not going to go through all of these in detail. I just wanted you to know what's actually available to you. And the other thing I'll mention is oftentimes clients will do a bit of a hybrid. So they'll get started DIY, and then they'll see if there's an area that they might be getting stuck. So maybe they add on challenge design, or maybe they're not getting as much traffic as they had anticipated on their challenge page. So maybe they want a bit of marketing support. So we can certainly take that leadership approach and guide you in deciding what meets your needs and what best suits you, not only on your needs, but as well as on your budget. So tying it all up here, a quick summary of our HeroX advantages. Simple and easy. You start and run your challenge for free, and then if things don't work out for you, then you get a refund. Access to global community, and the social network for crowdsourcing. Other resources that are available to you if you're interested, we have a couple of additional screencasts that we've created showing with you successful case studies. It's about 11 minutes in length. We also have a really detailed walkthrough of the platform itself if you wanted to see the features and functionality. And that screencast is just shy of about 20 minutes or so. And that's it. That concludes our screencast for today. Reach out to the team or myself directly. You see the email address there on the screen for any follow-up questions, or if you'd like to, for us to send through an additional link to some additional recordings that you might want to watch. So on behalf of the HeroX team, thank you so very much for listening.